Yeah, look, I think the Cardinals did a great job in hiring Mike LaFleur because philosophically how he wants to build an offense. Think the LA Rams, think the San Francisco 49ers, think, Seattle Seahawks. That's what they want to do. That's the tree he comes from. I think they have a lot of the pieces in order to do that. I think they have an offensive line that is athletic. They add Chase Besantis this year from Texas A&M in the second round, who's one of the best offensive line athletes in this draft. They have these big perimeter players like Marvin Harrison, like Mike Wilson, like Trey McBride. And now at running back, they have all these guys. Now, they got a nice complement of guys between Jeremiah Love, Tyler Algier, James Conner. They can hit you in a lot of different ways, man. So I think it's an exciting time if you're a Cardinals fan because the personnel matches philosophically how they probably want to attack. Run the football, the wide zone, the play action passing game, which will help the quarterbacks. Now, there's the key, right? Who's going to actually play the quarterback position? Who's it going to be? Is it going to be Jacoby? Is it going to be someone? Is Carson Beck going to be able to rise to the challenge and wind up saying, hey, look, you know what? I was overlooked, man. Maybe I'm the missing piece of this offense. I'm excited about this offense. Defensively, they still got some more work to do. The whole team has more work to do. But, Laura, this is not the same old Cardinals because I think the personnel matches philosophically what the head coach wants to do, specifically offensively.
That's interesting. All right, Boog, you think this is the right way to use Travis Hunter?
100%. I think he needs to be a cornerback first and foremost, understand the nuances of being the best cornerback in football, which he has the potential to, and then you sprinkle him in on offense. I think we all have to take a step back and say we all were wrong, and he can come in and be a full-time wide receiver and a full-time corner. We all said the same thing. I had my doubts, but I drank the Kool-Aid also. It's very hard to come into this league and be a full-time receiver and a full-time defensive back. That's a slap in the face to guys like Jamar Chase and guys like Patrick Surtain who are doing it at the high level and only playing one position. I think him playing cornerback is the right thing to do. Yeah, he can play some offense, no problem. He needs to major, and I mean really major in defense. And then we can take a couple elective classes in the summertime on offense, but be the best cornerback in football. That way you can get some return on investment if you're Jacksonville.
Yeah, Bucks. What do they have to do to bounce back this season and win this division?
They got to stay healthy, number one. I think especially their offensive line. If the offensive line stays healthy, that allows the quarterback to go back to playing the way that he was early on in his tenure there. You look at the weapons offensively. I'll say this, Lou, you can have the Saints and I'll take the Buccaneers, and you and I'll put a nice little dinner on it. I think the Bucs are the best team in the South. I think that 100%. They're gonna miss Mike Evans and some of that big play, big moment ability. But this is a young football team. Bucky Irvin, I think, is going to be back healthy. It's the best to me. It's the best. If not, it's top 3 from an offensive line standpoint in all of football. They got to get back to bludgeoning people. If they do that, I think the Bucs win the South, and maybe quite easily.
If you were to go back and talk to a young Kupp, is this exactly what you saw for yourself, nobody else did? Or is it kind of, as it's all unraveling, you're kind of discovering what's all possible with your football abilities?
Yeah, I think there's a little bit of both. I think I've got a healthy expectation for myself and goals that I set. And I'm not, if I was, I guess I've said I worked too hard in the offseason, too much blood, sweat, and tears have gone into this. Too much sacrifice from me, from my family, from people nearby me to say that this wasn't the goal we set out to accomplish in the first place. So I'm not going to do them the injustice of saying it wasn't part of the whole plan. But there's still a part of it that you discover that you look back on seasons and say, man, that was just such an unbelievable thing to go through. So many things fell in place, went right. And so there's a mixture of the two.
All right. Well, we enjoy watching your entire story. Obviously, others will utilize it as motivation forever, which is sweet. And I know that you certainly honor and respect that story being for the future. Now, let's talk about, 9 to Dime podcast and your Los Angeles Rams run and everything we saw there. Because they talk about the Triple Crown, which is catches, yards, and touchdowns. But you also had yards after catch as well. So you had one of the most historic seasons in the history of the NFL. We learn about you, I think, as an athlete and a player in Los Angeles. You have a massive amount of success. You and a quarterback are best friends. You're another quarterback on the field. And then whenever you leave, obviously it's like, whoa, we thought that was going to be for everything. Going back to Washington, to the Seattle Seahawks, and then what do? Oh, just win a Super Bowl. Mm-hmm. So can you tell me when you get back to Seattle, get to the Seattle Seahawks, is it a little weird? And then how early in there do you think, we have a team that nobody outside of this place thinks can win it all, but I believe in what we have in here because of what I'm seeing, and I've obviously done it in the past.
Yeah, it was an interesting way of all that stuff working out. Because without a doubt, it was still, we were still, probably a quarter of the way through the season, coming out of the tunnel. It's like weird coming out of this side of stadium, because I've come up the other side for so many times. So it was just kind of that took some getting used to, and eventually it does. Eventually, it does become just what life is. But then the I don't know, the like other side of that is like you spent 8 years in LA, and we did things a certain way in LA. Like it was, Sean has his alchemy is science. Like there's we're scientifically building like what we know works, what we know is going to win games. And so that's just all I knew. And you get to Seattle, and it's like, hey, there's a piece of this. It's like, hey, we're just going to play harder than you. We're going to just outcompete you. We're just going to play more physical than you. And so there was this other side of things. It's like, man, you can still. There's more than one way to win a football game, to build a culture. It was very different. So it took a second to be like, man, what is the expectation? Because this is so different going through training camp in terms of how it's built and what you're projecting out. You're not seeing the data sheets, right? I'm not seeing the Excel spreadsheet that says this is how we're going to win games. It's like, no, we're just gonna come and hit them really, really hard, and we're just gonna like will ourselves to win. And then that came to life.
I love the fact that they've added these guys, especially a guy like DJ Moore, because since Stephon Diggs has left the Buffalo Bills, it's been this everybody eats mantra and spreading the football around, and it's gotten them to where it's gotten them, but it hasn't been good enough. And you heard Deion Dawkins said it's time to stop talking about it and actually do it. A guy like DJ Moore can line on the outside and be able to win, and he's good with the ball in his hands. You look at some of his numbers. Last year was the lowest numbers he's had since his rookie year, but it also comes with a lower number of targets. If they can find a way to get the football to him, that's also going to help a guy like Skylar Bell, who's also a really good receiver when he has the football, similar to Khalil Shakir. So getting a big physical guy on the outside, because Keon Coleman hasn't worked so far, they need somebody versus man-to-man and a gotta-have-it situation. You can go out there and win, and Josh Allen can trust that guy and throw him the football.
Yeah, how much pressure?
I'm with you on that, J-Mac. I think the defense is going to be improved this year. I love Dylan Thieneman, the addition of him in the back end. I think Austin Booker takes a big step this year and really becomes a threat off the end. He had a great down the stretch run last year on that defense. But to your point, we're here for the offense. That's what you want when you have Ben Johnson. The offensive line looked much better last year. And you could almost see Caleb Williams and Ben Johnson when they started to click kind of midpoint last season. And even from a Caleb Williams perspective, you could see him get more comfortable with the balance of going off script and staying within structure. Love what you said about Luther Burden III, because I think he is going to be the breakout wide receiver of the 2026 NFL season. When you watch him last year, and he really wasn't like a true point of the offense until midway point to later, but this is on 60 targets. He had 47 receptions. He almost led the team, even in a minimal amount of offensive targets and snaps. And again, not coming on until late in the season. He does it in yards after catch. He does it in contested catches. He runs great routes. He does it intermediate. He's down the field. I think he's going to turn into a true number one. And this offense is going to take even another big leap, to your point, in year two with Ben Johnson and Caleb Williams.
Bears fans love to hear that. How are the Patriots feeling about their new wide receiver group?
Well, look, this is exactly what the New England Patriots wanted, and it's exactly what A.J. Brown wanted. He wanted a change of scenery. He wanted to play again with Mike Vrabel. He got what he was hoping for. And the Patriots are hoping for another big play, wide receiver to mix in there after moving on this offseason from Stephon Diggs. And not only do they go out and trade for A.J. Brown, but they also signed Romeo Doubs, the former Green Bay Packers wide receiver, at the outset of free agency. So that is two big playmaking wide receivers that are new in New England that the Patriots believe will provide some extra firepower for Drake May, who, as long as he's playing quarterback, that team always is going to have a chance to make a real playoff run.
Yeah, the Patriots.
Aaron Donald has always, anybody who knows the history of him, he's always prepared for seasons with his trainer. For 2 or 3 years, we did not see him with his trainer. There was a video put out of him with his trainer.
That's it. That's it.
I know nothing else.
Right.
All speculation.
So the fact that I was not working out with a trainer since the combine, but started about a month ago, means I'm getting ready for the season, is what you're saying, Joe.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I just equated myself to Aaron Donald.
Yeah, of course. Good job. No, as you should.
Okay.
Do you see that running form behind me?
Yeah, look at that right there.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Come on now.
Exactly. And just like an Aaron Donald workout, I vomited after that run. I'm with you. I think he's doing it. Well, all right, last one for you. Does he do it from jump? Like we're going to see him training camp? Your best guess. Like he's going to do it from jump, or he's going to join week 4, week 5, ramp up this, ramp up that, join the middle of the season, or he's just going to go right from jump and be part of him? What do you think?
Aaron Donald doesn't half do anything. He doesn't half step. That's why he's doing it at the pace he's doing it.
Mm-hmm.
But if I had to guess, we'll see him before week 1 kickoff.
Okay.
Will he play as much? No. But will he be assigned Los Angeles Ram? If I had to guess, when he comes back, if he comes back, it'll be before week 1.
Be very patient with Malik Neighbors. And I believe Isaiah Likely could be a huge reason why you can be patient. When you think about the way he was paired with Mark Andrews in Baltimore, he was the guy that gave you the explosive play that could stretch you down the seam. And now with Jackson Dart, to give him an outlet that's closer to the line of scrimmage, closer to the tackle box, I believe Matt Nagy understands how to utilize a tight end, and he could have a young Travis Kelce effect for this New York Giants offense. I believe he is just waiting to be unleashed. And you add Theo Johnson to that, who was already in New York, who we've seen make some athletic plays on the outside, but it could also be an inline blocking tight end, along with the 21 personnel Mina mentioned. We could see some of that 12, and then also incorporating Patrick Ricard, so we could get those big packages along with Cam Scatterbo that were huge in Baltimore.
I think a lot of fans are like, all right, well, Mekhi Lemon's just going to slot into the A.J. Brown spot and take all of his reps this season. Is it that simple?
No, I think Devontae Smith takes more of the A.J. Brown usage in terms of becoming more of a threat on the perimeter. But Mekhi Lemon to me is really important because he fills a lot of the gaps that were pretty noticeable last year in the Eagles offense and have been for a while, specifically quick completions against zone coverage and yards after the catch. Last season, on throws under 10 yards, the Eagles averaged 3.3 yards after the catch per reception. That was 31st of 32 teams. And to me, that's where Lemon comes in, first of all, making himself a very quarterback-friendly target very quickly, and then almost turning into a running back with the football in his hands because of his strength and vision. And I know that doesn't sound super sexy to, fantasy managers or people who think about A.J. Brown, but it is so important, Ryan, you know this, to keeping that offense running on time and making it more efficient. So I see him filling a pivotal role for Philadelphia.